Thank you, Mr. President. I appreciate my colleagues and their comments, and I know that Senator Hyde-Smith is also going to speak on this issue. And as we have heard, the President later today is going to talk about his record, and he's going to try to sell that record to the American people. And as we've heard, many of his policies are failures. This record is a broken record. And much of it, just as my colleague from Texas was saying, is a record that has failed the people of our states. Now, for 3 years, the American people have truly suffered immensely during this record of failure and broken promises. And some of the actions that President Biden has taken beginning on day one, as he issued executive order after executive order. Now let's talk about day one as we set the framework for what he will talk about tonight as his 3-year record. On day one, President Biden took actions pertaining to the border and illegal immigration. And here is what he did. He paused deportations, paused them. That means he put up a halt sign and said, you cannot deport people that have illegally entered the country. He limited which illegal aliens could be arrested. Now that was an action that he took. He said, well, you can't go arrest certain groups of illegal aliens, even though they've broken the law coming into this country. So he put those protections in place for people that had broken the law entering the country illegally. He halted construction of the border wall, and he ended the Remain in Mexico policy. Pardon me. Now, during his first 100 days, he took a total of 94 executive actions that made the border less secure and weakened legal immigration and encouraged illegal immigration and tried to make illegal immigration legal. Because of that, since he took the oath of office, 9 million illegal immigrants have entered this country. That is more than the population of 38 states. These are the actions that he has taken. In addition to the 9 million illegal immigrants, you've got known and unknown gotaways. The unknown gotaways are untold numbers of drug traffickers, human traffickers, smugglers. That is what is coming into our country because of this porous border. In addition, tens of thousands of people from countries of interest. In addition, terrorists that have been apprehended at our southern border trying to enter illegally. Those are the ones that we know about. Americans are indeed, Tennesseans certainly are, enduring the consequences of this open border agenda. And over the past few weeks, we've seen countless illegal aliens who should have never been allowed to set foot in this country be arrested for sexual assault, rape, and murder. One of the victims, Laken Riley, a 22-year-old nursing student in Georgia, was allegedly killed by an illegal immigrant who was paroled into this country by the Biden administration. Now, paroling someone into the country grants special privileges. They can get a work permit. They can get benefits. And if you look at President Obama's record, he paroled about 5,600 people a year into the country. Same for President Trump. But President Biden has gone more than 200 times this every year. 2022, he paroled 800,000 people into the country. 2023, 1.2 million people. And one of these parolees is the alleged killer of Laken Riley. There are others that have committed rape against children, that have bludgeoned our citizens. President Biden's policies are directly responsible for these crimes. Now, there is also a bucket of economic failures that I want to touch on. We all know that when President Biden came into office, inflation was 1.4%. And since then, we have seen inflation skyrocket. We've seen federal spending skyrocket. We know that trillions of dollars have been added to the debt. Much of this comes because of his agenda, a lot of it his attack on energy and his push for the Green New Deal. Now, President Biden had claimed that his agenda would, and I'm going to quote him, that it would grow the economy from the middle out and the bottom up. Instead, what it has done is to cause the worst inflation in 4 decades. Since Inauguration Day for Joe Biden, prices have been on the uptick. And when you talk to Tennesseans, they can tell you how much the cost of food is up. It's up at least about 20%. Rent, housing is up over 20%. And then you look at the cost of energy, whether you're filling up the tank or whether you're paying the electric bill or the gas bill for heating and cooling of the house. That is what this economy has done. And you know, Mr. President, as we look at the issues, we know that the economy, we know that this has such a negative impact on the amount of money that people have in their pocket each month. Because in Tennessee, this means that in 2023 alone, that an average family had to spend over $10,000 more just to tread water, just to stay even. So as we look at this, as we know the president is going to stand and insist that the state of the nation is strong, we know that there are going to be millions of Americans that say, no, it is frayed, it is fractious, it is hurting. People are broke, our border is broken, crime is up in our communities, and all of this is directly related to the policies of President Biden and his agenda.